Hello, everyone. Dr. Sarah Donovan here, founder of Ethical ELA, and I am here on the second to last day of Verselove to say congratulations. You did it. Almost. I thought I would check in today because I would like to give you a little bit of information about how things have gone so far this month and invite you to join us tomorrow, Saturday, for a little meet and greet, open house kind of thing. And I will tell you about that at the end. So first, I just want to say thank you so much for being with us and for trusting us with your stories and for your poetry. And on behalf of Ethical ELA, I'd love to just send our gratitude to all of the hosts who offered such amazing inspiration these past 29 days. We couldn't have done it without you, and thank you for taking such great care of our hearts and minds. And for all of the time that you all spent reading and responding to one another, it's just incredibly nourishing to the much needed hearts of teachers today. So thank you for all of that. At the beginning, I shared this picture of my backyard back in April or March 31st. And I told you my hope was that at the end that our trees would be filled with leaves and that our friends would be sort of metaphors like growing on the trees, and that by the end we would have many more friends. And here we do. Look at this. I still have some some leaves on their way, but spring has come. The leaves are symbolic of all of the poems that we've written and all of the friends that we've met along the way. And again, thank you so much for being a part of that. So I'm actually going to share my screen and show you some of the stats. I'm not really a numbers person, so bear with me, but I know some of you might really like to see the impact numerically or quantitatively about what's been happening with Verselove. Of course, I will always say that what is happening here, poetry cannot be measured, that it defies numbers. It's just incredible. So, but I will share a little bit because I think it's kind of impressive. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, so here we are taking a look at a snapshot of the month kind of leading up to April 28th when I'm recording this. You can take a look and see from April 1st through April 28th, we have had increasingly like up and down sort of like participation. I sort of thought that it might start really high and kind of go down, but it seems like there are some spikes on occasion of the number is sort of like the number of visitors to the site on that day. So the people who are reading the poems, borrowing teaching ideas, checking in on what's going on. So you can kind of see at our height, we were close to 1,500 views a day. And it seems like it's kind of gone up and down and sort of stayed steady around there. This is a snapshot of just kind of comparative from year to year. I've been doing this, a version of Verselove since 2017. And that year was a really high number because I was doing it with my students and I had 180 students and I made them write poetry every day. We also had some visitors from other classes joining us as well. So that was a really high number back in 2017, which I didn't think that we would ever reach again because I wasn't making my students do it anymore. But here we are. You can see 2019 is when I started inviting teachers into the fold. And 2020 was, of course, COVID. And you can see the nice, a really meaningful spike in the amount of poetry and reading of poetry that was sort of happening in 2020 of April. And I thought maybe what would happen the next year is it might go down, but it didn't. It stayed steady and went up a little bit more. And here we are with still a couple days to go in 2022. And we are almost at the amazing number they had in 2017. Look at that. And who knows, we might, and we will likely surpass that in the next 2 days. So that's pretty wonderful. This is just a kind of a snapshot of the month a little bit closer. You can see starting over here, April 1st, going through today, April 28th, when we're looking at it, and you can kind of see the totals from week to week. So you feel free to pause at any point if you would like to analyze the data. And then here's just sort of a snapshot of the entire month with the comments. And I feel like this is where we see the number of poems and responses. So we can see in the month of April so it's just highlighting April here. So far, we've had 32,000 views, which means people are coming to look and borrow ideas and to read. How many times they're kind of circling back to kind of check again. This next is the number of visitors, and this is the unique number of people who have clicked on to read poetry. And so 4,800 visitors through the month of April. So I know we don't have that many people writing poems, but maybe you didn't realize how many people were coming to read and look at ideas and kind of see what was happening. Then the comments here, almost 10,000. We have a little bit more to go in the next couple of days, but we're getting close to 10,000 poems and comments, responses to one another that didn't exist 28 days ago. It's kind of incredible to think about it, right? So these poems were not in the world, not being shared, and yet together, look at what we have made. It's pretty wonderful. And then I thought it might be interesting for you to see where everybody is. And you can see that we have like predominantly the United States of America, but definitely the Americas more broadly and across the globe. Like, look at that. We have people from all over. So you can kind of see where the representation is over 30,000 people. You can see just a breakdown a little bit more. So Kuwait, Canada, Philippines, Saudi Arabia, Austria, Belize, Australia, India, United Kingdom, Ireland, Turkey, Oman, Switzerland, France, United Arab Emirates, Ghana, Singapore, Germany, China, British Virgin Islands, South Africa, Netherlands, Japan. So people from all over are checking out what's happening here. And then finally, this is what I would want to interrupt today for, is just to invite you, maybe put it on your calendar and see if you can carve a little space to join us tomorrow, Saturday, April 30th, from 2 to 4 p.m. Central, just to meet your teacher poet friends. So I am going to just open up a Zoom link and invite you all to just kind of stop in when you can, as long as you can, to say hello, to read a poem, to share your favorite prompts, just to kind of say hello to one another. And okay, it's not required or anything. I'm just opening it up if you want to come and say hello. So that is all. I just really wanted to stop in today to say thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for trusting us with your poetry and your lives. And it's just been an honor to witness this the past month. I hope to meet some of you in person, but if you cannot make it, that's okay. We will be back here June for our 5-day open write. So every month we have 5 days, a mini version of Verselove, and you are welcome to return then. Now let's get back to writing poetry.